Welcome to this episode of the Boss Talk Podcast. Today we're featuring James Hyde, the owner of Hyde Lifestyle Taekwondo Academy, located in St. Joseph, Michigan. Listen in as he chats about his journey from being a karate student to a Taekwondo instructor and business owner. Hello, and welcome to the Boss Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Apollonia Williams. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we're going to be chatting with Master James Hyde.
There you go.
Thank you for being with us today.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, well, you tell us a little bit about yourself. I know I almost called him Grandmaster, but you said...
She put an age on me.
So it's Master James.
Yeah. Well, I'm a fourth degree black belt of Hyde Lifestyle Taekwondo. I'm with the association called Victory Taekwondo Association. They was founded in Chicago, Illinois. Now they reside in Austin, Texas. I decided to branch out and open up my own school under the Rady Taekwondo umbrella. My Grandmasters Al Smith of Benton Harbor, Michigan. And so we are located here in St. Joe, 2024 Washington Avenue, Suite 4.
What got you into karate? You know, how did you start your journey?
Oh, not karate, Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
However, I did study under karate.
Okay,
also,
so Taekwondo and karate are different.
Two different things. A lot of people think they're the same.
And I did.
Yeah, everybody does. Don't worry, you're okay.
Can you tell us the difference?
Yeah. So karate is more open-handed fighting, grabbing, throws, open hand striking. Karate only deals with a certain number of kicks. Taekwondo has a big variety of kicks.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
And so Taekwondo is 70% kicking, 30% punching. Karate is 70% hand techniques, 30% legs.
Got it.
So it's like the same thing but reversed.
Got it.
Yeah.
So how did you get into your journey of martial arts in Taekwondo?
In Taekwondo. So, well, it started with karate.
Okay.
so like I said, they're similar. So I was forced into a karate program because of my behavior. I was a child that didn't listen. I was a child that got into a lot of trouble. Right around age like 10, 11. And I had a severe case of ADHD.
Okay.
So teachers couldn't do nothing with me. Family couldn't do nothing with me. I was just kind of slightly off the hinges. So I was kind of forced into Taekwondo, or karate. Had no desire to do it, but I learned to love it over time.
So what's
it helped me.
Most rewarding to you being a Taekwondo instructor?
I would say the most rewarding thing now is being able to prevent the kids from going down the wrong path like I did. Starting off, able to be a role model in the kids' life and just kind of be there as a tool when they need it. Also, we play a big impact in the kids' grades, their ability to spar, their ability to break boards. And so we really just there as a coping mechanism.
Great. So how would you describe your philosophy in Taekwondo?
My teaching philosophy. I would say for me versus a lot of other schools, I'm not gonna say a lot of other schools. A lot of organizations are like very strict to the point by the book. Myself personally, I like to have fun with the kids. So a lot of times I'm in there wrestling with them. I'm in there throwing kicks. They're in there kicking me. We open each class with games like we used to grow up on the monkey in the middle, dodgeball, what is it? Duck goose, heads up, 7 up. So we do that to just kind of lighten the load before they train it.
Fun, yeah.
Yeah. So we try to keep it entertaining and fun for the kids as much as possible.
What values and principles do you emphasize the most on?
The most values and principles I emphasize on is actually right there on the wall.
Okay.
So those are 5 tenets of Taekwondo: courtesy, meaning respect; integrity, meaning all students be honest; integrity, meaning never give up; perseverance means never give up also; stay dedicated to yourself; and then to have indomitable spirit, meaning to be good about yourself and what you do. So all of those values together key in on a good student.
Good. So take us through a day, a session, coming in.
Oh.
A session here at the Taekwondo Hyde Lifestyle.
Okay, so we're talking Taekwondo, weapons, and kickboxing. But so a little bit of everything. So on the Taekwondo side, I'll go through each course. So on the Taekwondo side, students usually get here about 15 minutes early.
Okay.
Just play games,
Okay.
right? Just to kind of play around, run that energy out. And then we open up the class with about 15 minutes of stretching, and then we go over our student oath, which is an oath that we created for the students to say out loud, so that way they honor it. And then the other 15 minutes of class, so now we're into 30 minutes, so the other 15 minutes is basic technique where they'll like be in a stance, punching, kicking, just kind of doing some of the stuff that's in the book. Then the last 30 minutes is either fighting or forms.
Oh, fighting. Okay.
Fighting or forms, yeah. And so that's on the Taekwondo side of it. Kickboxing side of it, there's mostly fighting.
Okay.
So a lot of aggressive fighting, more punching to the face, but all the students' faces are protected by a head shield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we'll go over some basic drills. So kind of kickboxing doesn't really have a format to go by. We just kind of wing it.
Okay.
So on our Friday, every other Friday program, we have an instructor come in. She's actually on our membership. Her name's Kelly Pavanka. She does swordsmanship classes, stick fighting, along with night defenses. She trains on a program called the Cali Center, which I think they're located out of Florida. But she came from Holland, one of the Taekwondo schools there, and now she teaches under us as instructor.
So, how did you stay motivated to keep going? And are you affiliated with any community organizations?
Yep. So the way I stayed motivated when I first started, I only had, and we was just talking about this, I only had 2 students for like a whole year, maybe anywhere between like 8 months to a year. And so it was only those 2 students training, and the gym was taking 30% of what I brought in, and I had just quit my full-time job to do Taekwondo full-time, and wife wasn't having it. But so year 1 was a real rocky year, and so people just kept telling me stay consistent, stay consistent. A lot of prayers. And year 2, I got affiliated with a partnership program out of Barron Springs, where any student that's homeschooled and go to Barron can do courses through the state. So they can come in and they can take classes under the partnership program. So that was year 2. Year 3, they shut our school down because the owner sold our space. So we got discouraged even more. We was located out of Barron Springs, and the owner sold the building, and we had to relocate to Buchanan. Went there for a year, and or almost a year, and ended up getting our own space on year 4, and now we're working with the Boys and Girls Club program outside. So we got about 100 students total, if you count the Boys and Girls Club and the students that we have in our school.
And see, that's why grit and passion and all that plays a big part in entrepreneurship, because you could have gave up 4 years ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Almost did, yep.
Yeah, 2 students for a whole year.
2 students for a whole year. I don't know how I did it, yeah.
And so,
motivation, y'all, don't give up.
Do not give up.
Please.
I know you talked about that you were basically like defiant and everything like that when you were young, and that's how you got into karate and Taekwondo. So when you have students that are, maybe their parents are making them do it, how do you get past those challenges when you have students that probably don't want to be here, but have to be here?
Yeah. That's a good question, actually. So I actually get quite a bit, probably half of the students that when they first take classes, they don't want to do it. So what they'll do is I'll let them sit out and just watch. And a lot of times they'll wing themselves in the class on their own. So if I know I got a student that's going to be a challenge where like that student's dealing with something, or that student does not want to attend the classes and he was kind of forced in it, or she, sorry. They'll sit there and watch, and we'll make it entertaining. I make it extra entertaining because I know that I need to reel them in. And a lot of times they'll come to us about a couple days later and say, hey, I want to do this. Can I join class? So them seeing it kind of helps with that. And then the other thing, once they get into it and the discipline starts kicking in and they get frustrated and they don't do it no more, I just, give them my story on what I went through and why I got put in the class and then how it changed me.
That's good. That's good. So have you ever had to use your skills outside of the class?
All right.
Are you able to?
So, I was waiting for that question actually. So, that's a fine line. Yes, you can.
Okay.
If absolutely needed.
Okay.
So let me explain that. In scenarios where you're getting jumped, obviously, if it's more than one person, yeah, you can dabble in it a little bit, but you still got to be careful because coming up when I was like 16 and I got into the Taekwondo side of martial arts, there was a scenario actually where I had to defend myself against like 6 people. So I used it. Obviously, I was going to use it.
So you beat him up?
No. Let's just say I didn't lose. Yeah. Let's just say I didn't lose the fight. Yeah. But in a situation like that, I mean, especially if it's a life and death scenario where a knife is involved, anything like fair game. And then to touch on that, when it comes to like bullies, there's ways to use Taekwondo without physically harming somebody or without physically striking somebody. However, try to refrain from not using it on anyone if absolutely possible.
So you don't really need to use it. You shouldn't use it unless it's a life or death situation.
Unless it's a life or death situation.
Yeah.
Or if you're sticking up for somebody that's being like really, really mistreated, you know what I mean? Yeah. So.
Okay. I might have to take a class.
Yeah.
Or two,
yeah. Or 3 or 4 or 5 or membership. Yeah.
What advice could you give to someone that is looking to start Taekwondo and get into the business or want to start taking the classes? What advice could you give them?
So my main advice to start on the business side, I would say seek help from like other organizations. Like my help comes from the Victory Association and Ready Taekwondo, and I got a grandmaster that I report to if I'm struggling with anything. Also, you want to get involved with the state as much as you can because you don't want nothing to hit you out of nowhere.
Okay.
Like a lot of people start programs without LLCs and then they get in trouble and because you want to have that, or they'll start a nonprofit and gain profit without having proper backing from the state and that kind of stuff.
So just
hit
make
you
sure
later.
dotting your I's and crossing those T's.
Yes, and main thing is insurance.
Okay.
It's a big one, especially with any physical activity. And then as far as the ones who want to do Taekwondo, my main advice is do it. Just hands down. Try one class. I'll give it to you for free. I'll give you a free class. Yes.
One free class.
One free class. And 9 times out of 10, they'll be hooked on it.
So if they want to come and try out or just come visit you, how do they contact you?
You can contact me at 269-274-6464 or email me at hydejames376@gmail.com. And then our website is under construction right now.
Okay.
But that's HYDESLifestyleTKD.com.
All right.
So give that about another few weeks and that'll be up and running.
All right. So where do you see Hyde's lifestyle within the next 5 years?
In the Olympics.
In the Olympics?
In the Olympics, yep. We
Olympics.
already making moves towards it. They do the Olympics every, 2 years? 4 years? Every 4 years. So that might be the next 8 because 2028 is already set, preset, yeah. So in the next 8 years, we'll be in the Olympics. Next 5 years, we'll be traveling the world.
So when you see Hyde, Master Hyde in the Olympics, make sure y'all support.
Yes, please. Please support.
What do you think one of the biggest misconceptions of Taekwondo is?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. Everyone, when they look at Taekwondo, they only see fighting. So they only see kicks, they see punches, they see very aggressive techniques, and a lot of times people get ran off by that. But they don't see the discipline, all the hard work, and all the grade levels going up from F to D, from D to C, C to B, B to A. That's so great. we gotta. I'll tell this really quick. we got a lot of students that will test for their next belt rank, and then they'll have low grades, and usually we'll use that belt as a tool. Like, okay, you can't move up in rank unless you get this grade up to like the next level.
Oh, that's
And a lot of students grade levels go up because of that. And then to get a black belt, you have to be AB on roll. No ifs, ands, no buts.
That's great.
AB on roll. Yep.
That's great to
So
set those standards.
Mm-hmm.
Set those standards for them early. That's
Yep.
really good.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. So, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs? Anybody wanting to start a business, you know, regardless of what industry you're going in, what advice would you give them?
The main advice, so I would say just go for it. I'll tell my story. I left hopefully I don't get in trouble for this, but I was working for. Can I mention another business?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. I want to make sure.
I mean,
so I was
don't
working.
work for them.
Right. So I was working for AutoZone, and I was making 52,000 a year. So I was salary as a store manager, and I had a team of like 15 people under me. So I was doing good. Really.
Everybody probably looked like that's the man from AutoZone.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'm the man from AutoZone. But the problem was I wasn't seeing my family. So I would say I worked 60, 70 hours a week sometimes, and I get paid overtime and just got draining. So Taekwondo has always been in my back pocket. It's like, man, I should really use it. So listening to a lot of Eric Thomas videos and Gary Vaynerchuk and all that motivational stuff, I just got the courage to just walk away one day. I put a 2 weeks notice in, but I gave my 2 weeks and I said, look, I wanna go ahead and start it. And I just started with 2 students, and it was up from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control,
indomitable spirit.
Oh, and an indomitable spirit.
Everybody struggle with that word. Yeah.
Indomitable spirit. You need all that if you wanted to be successful in the entrepreneurial world. Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in with Grant. If I call you Grant.
No, you okay.
With Master James Hyde here at Hyde's Lifestyle. It is so nice in here.
Yes, it is.
All the equipment. I'm going to learn a few moves before I leave out. I hope that hearing his journey makes you guys want to boss up.